and welcome to another episode of Impulse Cooking. Today's segment features coffee. So, although I love going out to brunch and going to coffee houses, chatting it up with my friends, sometimes my wallet needs a break and I need to make the coffee at home. So for that, I went and invested in this big guy right here, the Mr. Coffee Barista. Okay, so I bought this about 5 months ago, and also I'm not a spokesperson for Mr. Coffee. I'm not getting paid for my opinion. This is all my own. Sponsor me. But this thing has survived my love. Okay, so I have made lattes with this and espressos, and I have not been in any more adventurous with this, but I'm going to show you how to make a latte because I think that's one of the more popular drinks at a coffee shop. So to make our latte, you're going to need espresso coffee, not regular coffee, but espresso, ground up, fine ground. And Mr. Coffee comes with this. I'm not a barista, so this doohickey here, and this one for a double latte or espresso or cappuccino because it makes a cappuccino as well, or the little cup for a single. And since it is in the afternoon and I don't want to be hyped up and crazy on caffeine, we're going to do a single cup. So, and I forgot the milk for our latte. Alright, so for starting off, you're going to turn on the machine and it's going to be warming up. So when it's blinking like that, that means it's trying to warm up. I don't know if you can see the blinking with the lighting. And so now we're going to take this compartment out and we're going to fill this with our milk. So we're going to pour a little milk in there. Hear the dog crying because he wants to come in. And we're going to put the lid on. So the plastic tube right there goes there, and the metal tube goes on the outside. And then it just slides back in. And you hear that click, you're in. Next, we're going to measure our single cup. Mr. Coffee includes one of these scoopers, and it helps you tamp down the coffee too. Gonna open, do a scoop. Hopefully I'm not making a mess, because Mr. Coffee's kind of tall. Put it right in there, and then we're gonna tamper it down, tamp. Push it, whatever, just like that. And then we're gonna stick it right in here, and you gotta kind of turn so it can lock in. Just like that. Okay, so apparently when I was telling you about the blinking part, it wasn't plugged all the way in, but it should be blinking now. And so I think this part, so the espresso part is ready, but the latte part is not. So it's still blinking. So now that we have our solid lines here, we know that our coffee, the espresso part is ready, as well as the latte and cappuccino part. All right, so we're gonna make sure that it's turned on to the latte side for the foam level. And then we're going to make sure our metal tube here is aimed at the cup, so that way we don't spill or have it spraying everywhere. All right, and then we're going to start it. So we're going to press this once because we're using just the single latte cup, and it's going to make a lot of noise. Don't be frightened. There you go. Steam coming up, nothing's burning, steaming of the milk. Still making a nice, delicious froth. Alright, and now here is the espresso part. Alright, so now here is our beautiful cup of latte, or a beautiful latte. Now if you want to make it fancy, you can get those Torani syrups. They come in all different flavors. The ones I have are classic caramel, it's right there, sugar-free vanilla, and some of them are even flavored with Splenda, and our classic hazelnut syrup. And then if you want to get extra fancy, You can add a little bit of a dash of cinnamon to your latte, just like that, or even cocoa. And voila, the perfect latte. So I know what you're thinking. Impulse Chef, who has the money to buy Mr. Coffee? Well, you can get similar results with an easier and cheaper option. Here comes the French press. So with the French press, we can make coffee and we can make frothed milk. I recommend going to maybe a grocery store where they grind it there, or you're going to have to grind it yourself. Buy whole beans and grind it yourself. But you're going to need the French press setting. As you can see, this side right here is for coffee. It's nicely fine. It's fine ground and it's like almost like a powder. And the other one is the French press ground. And it's a little more textured and a little chunkier. And this is what you're going to want. So you don't get a sludgy kind of coffee. You're going to want your coffee beans to be ground to this texture. Okay, so to make your single serve cup of coffee, here's my jar of ground coffee for a French press. You're going to need 2 scoops. I think this is roughly a tablespoon. And then you're going to need water, hot water that has just been boiled. You're going to pour that all in there, and actually that's not enough, so I'm going to add a little bit more. About right there. And you're going to let it steep for about 2 minutes. Alright, so while we're waiting for our coffee to finish steeping, we're going to go ahead and get our frothed milk started. So you're going to take your milk, put as much as you would prefer. Just go ahead and do about, I'm going to do about 1/3 of a cup. And then you're going to put it in the microwave and get it really hot. So about 2 to 3 minutes. With our French press, we're going to press the coffee. And make sure we get this slotted in. And we're going to pour that coffee in there. Alright, now that we have a delicious rich brew right there, isn't that pretty? We're going to go ahead and get our milk out of the microwave. Now we're going to add our frothed milk. Our microwave milk, we want it to be frothed in there, and this is where you're going to work your muscles. Here we go. So we're going to put air until we get some froth. Alright, once you've gotten your milk as frothed as it can be, oops, you're going to take it and you're going to pour it on top. And you see, you got a nice little foam there. There you go. See? Whoa. Frothy. Just like that. And then if you wanted to make it mocha, get your chocolate covered spoon and stir it right in there. Or back to the syrups. To each his own. So you can still have a perfectly delicious latte with a device or an electric device or without. So that's it for today's segment, Impulsers. I hope you liked what we went over today. If you do, please subscribe. And if you don't, please subscribe anyways. So that's it for today's segment. Later, Impulsers.